Okay, guys, here's something strange. Battlefield 4 gameplay. How about that? That's weird, isn't it? Very rare to see a Battlefield 4 gameplay on this channel, but I do play it a lot, and I don't really know. I haven't got any excuse why I don't upload it more. Probably because I don't know. Maybe I'm not experienced enough to talk about it with that much confidence to say, oh, the thing with this is and what you need to do, because I will probably get crushed by the Battlefield community who know their stuff. But I do know how to play Battlefield 4. I do play it a lot. Is the answer to the question that a lot of people do ask me on, sort of comment sections where they say, you should play Battlefield 4. I think you'd like Battlefield, and it's true, I do love it. I probably do prefer it to Call of Duty, to be fair, and I'm really looking forward to Battlefield 1, as we now know it's called, and I know I haven't talked about it, and I know I haven't done a video discussing the whole World War I theme. I've sort of done a video talking about my excitement towards it, but at the time I thought it was going to be Battlefield 5. But now I know it's Battlefield 1, I've seen the content, I am very excited about that, so I will talk about that a little bit more. But that is not the content I wanted to throw up in this video. So before I crack on with that, I'm just going to let you know I'm using the M416. It's my favourite gun, it's very reliable, very steady, and I'm sure I can't get criticised for that, because the Battlefield community will hopefully look at that and say, do you know what, you're right. He sort of knows his stuff. But this is a pretty good gameplay, there's a lot of revivals, and I do the very British thing in this. You'll probably see me a lot of the time say thank you, in the sort of command prompt section. People throw me an ammunition box, I say thank you very much. People bring me back to life, say thank you. Even when I'm getting shot at, I try to find that time to sort of scroll down with the R1 and flick downwards left and say thank you very much for that revival, thank you very much for that ammunition box. It's British, it's the British way. Not criticising any other nation or anything like that, it's just, that's apparently what us British are considered doing. Me anyway, I was brought up like that. Whenever I'm driving in my car and, somebody lets me through, I say thank you. And if I try to reciprocate that and let somebody else through if they don't thank me, I get very annoyed, and then I shout something out the window and drive away very fast. But yeah, forget about all that. Battlefield, enjoy. Now, what I really wanted to talk about, I wasn't going to upload today. I was going to take a little break from it after yesterday's quite strong video. But I decided I was going to do a commentary, because I put that video up this morning. It was meant to go up last night, but I put the video up this morning because I didn't get round to getting the thumbnail finished last night. I started doing it, and then I got so tired because it was so late. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning I went to sleep, and I had to get up at 6. So I thought, what I'll do is I'll just go to bed, I'll pull myself out of bed a little bit earlier, I'll finish that thumbnail off, and I'll get the video up. And I've got to be honest, I got very nervous after I uploaded that and drove to work, because where I'm working, there is no 3G, there is no 4G, 3G, or PG tips. There's nothing. Anything ending in G, there's absolutely nothing. I'm working at a place called Cannock, and for some reason it just doesn't seem to pick up anything on my phone. So I obviously threw that video up, went to work, and all day I was just thinking, what have I done? I've got no control over this video. I've done a really hard-hitting, ranty video, sort of calling out a lot of channels, whatever, just being really harsh and critical, and almost very much over the top. And I thought, I don't know what the backlash is going to be like. And to be honest with you, on my way home, I thought I need to check that video. I need to check the video and see whether, sort of do a damage control thing. And when I got back and looked at the video, I was really happy. I was really quite pleased to see that I got quite a lot of support. And, the video sort of got a better response than I was expecting. It basically got, at the time I checked, after about 6 hours, it got over 2,000 views, which was brilliant. But the biggest thing that pleased me was it had something like 650 likes, maybe, to 8 dislikes, and well over 200 comments. Now, I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But thank you. I just wanted to say thank you very much to everybody who did watch the video all the way through and did, apply some sort of critique towards it and say, yeah, I agree with you there. You're probably a little bit wrong about that person, but everybody else I can sort of agree with, and, keep true to who you are. I do appreciate that. It's nice to know that you're thought well of. I do try to keep people happy. I try not to sort of veer away too much from who I am. And that's what it's all about for me. It's all about entertainment. And if I'm not entertaining, then I'm just not doing my job properly. And obviously my elation when I saw the video, kind of reaction was twofold. It was a twofoldness feeling of good nature, because I thought, well, that's great. People are supporting me. That's awesome. But also as well with the amount of comments and, interaction on that video. And even though it's going to be really hard for me to reply to every comment, because it means that I just won't be able to produce another video for about 2 days, as the video is going quite strong. I've read everything and it was really nice to read, but the fact that the interaction was so strong on it means a hell of a lot to me. And I'm going to talk about something now very briefly, and I hope you won't criticise me too much on this, but this is something that I felt like saying in the past, but I haven't done because I've criticised other people for doing this, but I'll go into it a little bit more. In the past, I've sort of done another ranty video where I've talked about people who start their video off and say, hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to do a video about this, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and do this, that, and come around my house and vacuum the fucking floor, you know? A variation of sort of tasks involved. Before you watch this video, here's a few tasks I want you to do, and come and clean my car for me. I've always really criticised people for that, and I've said it's like going into a restaurant, ordering food, and the waiter turning around and saying, okay, don't forget to thank the chef before you eat your meal and leave my tip, you know? I've always compared it to that, and I've said it's wrong. You should wait to the end of the video and then maybe ask. And I never really used to understand why people used to say that. I thought it was just a kind of arrogance thing to say, look at what the, reaction to this video was. I've got likes, favourites, and I've gained X amount of subs from that video. The fact of the matter is, I've since learnt and I almost understand a little bit now why these people do it, even though I still, think it's a little bit wrong to sort of presume that people are going to give you that kind of interaction and say, yes, it's awesome, thank you very much, here's a like, a favourite, and have a comment to boot. People do it because YouTube's a funny thing, and what YouTube tends to do is it looks at some of these videos, and when it sees the likes and the reactions and the comments, it considers it a sort of subject of interest. So what it'll do is it won't necessarily look at the views, it'll look at the comments and the likes and the favourites and all things like that, and what it'll do is it will bump it up the YouTube ladder and put it in amongst sort of recommended videos where you wouldn't expect it to be recommended. So say for the sake of argument, that video, or one of my videos in the past where I've talked about snipers on Black Ops 2, which still gets lots of comments now, it might appear amongst, I don't know, John and James blind box opening of Disney characters or something like that, you know? It'll just come up in a recommended section for some strange reason. And that's the kind of answer I've wanted to give a lot of people when they've said, oh, your channel should be so much bigger, you should be on 100k. Why are you not on 100k? Tell me the answers to this. And it's like, that's kind of the answer. Because, I've had more comments and more likes and, dislikes or whatever, just activity on that video than I've had on some in about the last 5 days or 2 weeks and things. So, it does mean a lot when you get that sort of interaction. It means that it's a subject of interest, and that's what YouTube look for. So I do really appreciate getting those, getting that activity on there. And it was really nice to read the comments as well. So thank you very much. I do appreciate that. I didn't want to end the day without saying thanks. And it just meant a lot to me, and I was glad to get it off my chest. It needed to be said, I think, and even though I probably have lost a sort of few air quotes friends over the thing, at least I know where my loyalties are, and at least I know where my friends are. So thank you for being my friend. I'm a sad little boy, aren't I? Apocalypse done.